Everyone, Sheevaun Moran here, driving for your success. And today's topic is brought to you by the most important thing that you will deal with in your day, in your life, in your business, in getting yourself out there, in getting yourself to work out, and in really taking that next step. And that most important thing is called resistance. And resistance is important when you have a rubber band. And resistance is important when you're doing training to build a muscle. Resistance is important in a few areas. However, we all have resistance. And I did this little experiment to see what kind of resistance I fell into, and allowed me to take myself off my track, off my train, off what I was doing. And I was a little surprised because I'm kind of highly productive. And so what I decided after I uncovered that was that I would do everything I could to identify the resistance and then take an action step sooner than I might otherwise. And, so we have resistance when we have too much going on and our brain wants to have simplicity. Our brain actually wants simplicity, y'all. Our brain actually wants alignment with our heart and our head and our soul, because that's actually when resistance is less. And so that thing of resistance is going to crop up when you watch too much negative news or movies or things that take your emotions in a down cycle. If you have not enough movement of your body, you're actually going to get into resistance that is a little bit more gravity oriented. You're going to get into resistance about doing things that maybe you've had this gut instinct, or as my client said yesterday, this idea, this little intuitive hit that they needed to be on YouTube, but they were resisting going and putting their stuff on YouTube, and they were putting it everywhere else. And so the resistance is everywhere, and it's real, but it's completely unreal. And if we have a perception that something is difficult, too hard, going to take too long, we don't understand, we feel like it's going to get us out of our comfort zone, it's going to expose us, it's going to create something that we know can happen. All of those things are for the perceived immediate future. And the resistance is real because you're going to get onto the other side of resistance eventually. You will either totally not do it, or you will take action and do something with it, or be forced into dealing with it. And so resistance is something to pay attention to. How are you falling prey to resistance? One of the ways you fall prey to resistance is by saying, oh, I saw this other thing over here, and it's a little different than what I'm doing right now, and it looks way more fun and way more interesting and way more, it's going to help more. When in fact, if you keep switching and changing and switching and changing, where you're putting your information, where you're sharing something, how you're doing your work on the back end, how you're dealing with your website, if you're consistently changing things, then you're actually going against the opportunity that is actually there for you to get beyond the resistance. And sometimes we have to just breathe for a second. So think about your resistances and type them in. Tell me some of the ones that have come up for you, because I definitely had a heck of a lot, and I'd love to know which ones are coming up for you. Maybe one of the resistances is hitting like or share or commenting. Anyway, my name is Sheevaun Moran. Go to SheevaunMoran.com, SheevaunMoran.com. See you soon. Have a beautiful day.